Oh, yeah, lots of college basketball today and lots of wins today. Let's go. And you know what? It's time for last-minute betting. Tony's here, replacing Mike tonight. Mike's on a call with a client, so he may be back before the show's over. If he's not, it don't matter. Tony and I can handle it.
Yeah, we only got 75 college basketball games to go over.
Oh, yeah. We're going to make it through every one of them, too. We're brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company for sports bettors worldwide. Up to $1,000 in second chance bets. You new users for PointsBet. You can't beat that with a stick. Link is below in the description, and get paid to share OddsJam. OddsJam Partner Program. Link is below in the description. Go there now, join up. 50% revenue share ongoing. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous stuff. All right, my friend, you're here. I'm here. And, okay, I like Colorado State tonight.
They're a great team, but I actually saw Colorado money line this morning on the positive EV page. And then I started to see the Colorado State spread get lower, and I started to see that on the positive EV page. So it's going to be a great game.
Let me tell you something. The line was 2.5 this morning. It's 3.5 now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Buffaloes tonight.
Okay, well, you're going to get Buffaloed. I hate to tell you that.
Just like Dion.
Yeah, no kidding. Neon Dion is not in a good place there for sure. Let's see. Duke, Arkansas, that's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw the Duke line open up early last night at -4.5. So that's what I snagged it at. And I still think it's there. I still think you can get it at -4, -4.5. So I like that. I did actually a little state of North Carolina parlay tonight. I like the Tar Heels and the Blue Devils on the money line in those two big ACC, SEC challenge games. So that parlay was around +120, I think, something like that. So I do like both of the North Carolina teams to win the big games on ESPN tonight.
Okay. All right. Texas A&M and Virginia. I'm finding myself wanting to know more about this game. Is Virginia favored in that game?
Yeah, actually, both teams are. Well, the Aggies are 6-1, and the Cavs are 5-1, and
right.
both coming off some big wins. Virginia just beat West Virginia, and Texas A&M beat Iowa State. I actually saw Virginia on the money line earlier on the positive EV page at -120. It's all the way up to -150 now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd like Virginia to cover the 3 points. I think it could be a 1 or 2 point game. But if you can get Virginia at a little lower of a number,
okay.
Texas A&M is ranked 14th in the country, though. So
yeah, and that Duke game is at 4.5. The North Carolina game was at 2 or 2.5 earlier in the day, I thought. Let's check it out.
Yep, I see it still around 2.5, but I think the money line is a safer play there.
Yeah, probably so. Don't count out Tennessee.
I know they're a great team. They got the Summit League Player of the Year from last year to transfer to their team, and he's actually their best player now. So they're a good team. But if you can get in basketball, if they're a 1 or 2 point favorite, if you can get the money line around 130 or less, always take the money line instead of that 1 or 2 points.
Well, I'm not going to take the money line in this game because I like Tennessee, but I'll take +2.5. I'll take +2.5. Now, obviously, I'm going against, let's face it, home court advantage is a pretty big deal. But, I got to be honest with you. North Carolina, since since Roy Williams retired, in my opinion, okay, and I know this is a short period of time, but I'm just not thinking that they have been that good of a team the last few years. They're okay, but they're not North Carolina.
Didn't they win a title 2 years ago without Roy Williams?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
they just had a down year last year, but they just beat Arkansas by 15 points. Their only loss this year is to Nova by 2. So I think North Carolina from 2 years ago is more like the team we're going to see throughout the year than the team that actually missed the NCAA tournament last year, which you rarely see a defending champion miss the NCAA tournament.
Are you sure they won the national championship a couple of years ago?
Yeah. Did they not?
The
year before, didn't UConn, and then wasn't it UNC before, or am I crazy?
Seeing it in here. I went with North Carolina's last championship, and it said 2017.
I might be crazy. Oh, yeah, maybe I'm crazy. Oh, yeah, it was Kansas.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, they lost to Kansas. That's right.
Okay.
That was oh, yeah. You're right. They can't win without Roy Williams.
Most likely, I'm just going to say this, Roy Williams' recruiting class.
Yeah.
That was his team. So
yeah, that was an Ojai Baji shot that beat North Carolina. That's right.
I'm not convinced with God, what is his name? Their coach,
Hubert.
Yeah.
Hubert Davis.
I'm just not a big fan of Hubert Davis. He looks over his head at times. Not saying that he's a bad basketball mind, but I'm just saying.
Not sure he's a top blue blood college basketball coach.
Yeah. I guess you could put it like that.
Yeah, I get it.
Absolutely, I agree. All right, let's see what else we talking about here.
Those are pretty much the big ones tonight.
Right. But we have a bunch of other games too.
Oh yeah.
And some of these games that are in smaller conferences, I got to be honest with you, I bet them a lot in the past. For instance, Prairie View A&M against Tulane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that just has always kind of tripped my trigger. And that spread is 15.5 right now. And
yeah.
I got to be honest with you, I'm not sure Tulane covers that.
I love betting lower tier college basketball conferences because especially with positive EV and when you're watching line movement, you can get a lot of a better of an edge than on, say, an NFL game or something like that, where more people are betting on it. Like in fact, I love Cleveland State tonight on the road against Youngstown State. Okay. And Cleveland State's a dog just for that. And Queens at home is a dog. Just tiny conferences like that. What else do I have?
UC Irvine and Duquesne. Interesting matchup. Florida Gulf Coast and Florida International. I think that's an interesting game. The UC Irvine game, Duquesne is favored by 5.5.
I actually got Duquesne at -3.5 earlier this afternoon. That's a great game. Both teams are going to be fighting in their conference to make the tournament for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Great game. What was the other one that I was just talking about? Florida Gulf Coast and Florida International. This is a relatively, it's in that 3.5 range. So this should be a really interesting matchup, don't you think?
Yep, that's another good one. We're starting to see conference play. So Davidson's playing Charlotte tonight. Davidson's a dog on the road. I like Davidson in that game. First half and full game money line. Let's see what else we've got. We've got Georgia against Florida State. I like Georgia to cover in that game.
What about Richmond and Wichita State? Another one of those 3.5, 4 point, somewhere around there.
I like Wichita. I like Wichita in that one. That's another great game, but Richmond hasn't been playing as well as they have the last few years. So give me the Shockers there.
Okay. All right. Florida Wake Forest. Another game, Florida favored once again. We're a 5-point game in this one. Who do the Deacon Demons even have?
They're not as good as they have been in the past. They're 3-3 this year. I like the Gators to cover in that game. They're 4-2. I like the 5. I think they can cover the 5 for sure. They just only lost to Baylor by 4 a couple nights ago, so that's a great Baylor team. So give me the Gators there.
Virginia Tech and Auburn. You were talking about Georgia and Florida State. This kind of is an interesting game. Of course, this is part of that challenge. A little bit higher, 9-point Auburn. Auburn should smoke them, don't you think?
Auburn should smoke them. Yeah, actually, I don't really have a read on that game. I have 43 bets today, and that's not one of them.
God bless.
I came prepared for the show. When I'm on, I'm going to give people some picks.
Oh yeah, that's really, 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 really good. Quit. This is another 9-point with San Jose State and Cal Poly.
Yeah, I got San Jose State -9 in that one.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to go down the list here. What about Loyola, Maryland, and Columbia, or Monmouth and Cornell, or Oakland and Detroit Mercy?
I have Cornell to cover against Monmouth. I've got, and they're a big favorite. I got them at 10.5. That's actually gone up a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Okay.
And then I got Loyola, Maryland at +7.5 against Columbia in the. I'm not sure where that line's been at, but
we're gonna take a look here, folks. We're line shopping using the OddsJam software, sports betting software. There were 6.5 is where it's at, and you've got
it's moved a point.
Yeah, you've got Loyola, and you're taking the points.
+7.5 is what I got him at earlier today. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Maine and Holy Cross, Marist and Iona, Buffalo.
Iona -6.5 there.
Okay, and that has gone to 7.5.
Right.
So, what time did you? I want to talk about something here. Let's not go any further down the list there. What time did you lock those bets in? And look who's joined us, Tony.
What's up, Mike?
What is up?
So for college basketball, lines usually come out around, I'd say 11 p.m. Eastern for the next day. I don't bet totals in college basketball. I bet spreads and money lines only. I only bet totals in the NFL and baseball and in the NHL, not in basketball. But wow. I do. I don't know. Don't ask me why. It works for me.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so I don't bet totals in basketball, but I do bet spreads and money line right when the line's open and I see an edge on the positive EV page, or if I'm just on the screen and I see a discrepancy just when I'm watching games at the end of the night. So I usually get, I'd say 5 or less in before midnight for the next day. Usually go to bed around midnight, depending on when I get off of work. And then I'm usually up around 6 a.m. with the babies, and there's already a bunch of lines out by then that I missed in the last 6 hours. So then I see what the discrepancies are by looking at the screen and seeing what's out there in the positive EV page. But I usually don't take anything after noon. I usually grab everything right when it opens, either the night before the game start or as early as I can the morning of, because these lines change a lot. I'd say probably from 10 a.m. to noon on the East Coast, because that's when everybody's getting in. So if you can get in on some of these, like you saw, lower college tier basketball games, I almost have a point to 3 points on all those games because I took them a few hours before everybody else did. So, and in basketball, getting 2 to 3 points on a spread is huge.
For sure.
So I would take lines as early as possible if you see an edge.
All right, I gotta throw this at you guys, because there seems to be more news about Shohei Ohtani and where he's going to go. The Yankees, according to ESPN's Jeff Passan, are not believed to be in the mix. Between Aaron Judge, Cole, Rondon, and Stanton, they are owed more than $513 million over the next 4 seasons. So, but I seem to see something where it looked like Texas might be getting in the mix for him. Oh my God, if you added him to that lineup, holy cow, that would
especially
be
if they re-signed Jordan Montgomery, you add that in as well, that would be even deadlier. I think the Yankees are going for Yamamoto, aren't they?
Very well could be.
I think they're set on going for him, and that would make sense with the money that they owe these guys you mentioned. Probably not going to be able to get Ohtani, so the next best thing would probably be Yamamoto. But, man, I don't know where Ohtani's going to end up.
Well, the Giants are in on both either Yamamoto or Ohtani. They want one of them. You know, remember they tried to get Aaron Judge last year, and failed to make that happen.
Yeah.
Tony, got any feel on that?
No, I don't really like all these random speculation reports. I mean, I just want to hear something concrete and see him actually visit somewhere. Did he visit the Yankees? I think I saw that, or was that just a picture online?
That I do not know.
Yeah, see, I mean, I don't see Ohtani going to Texas. But I would love to see Yamamoto in Boston. He said he wanted to play with another Japanese player, and Yoshida's sitting right there as a recruiter. So,
yeah, we got in his best friends in St. Louis, Lars Nootbaar, bud. Him and Nootbaar go out and play golf. Their moms are best friends. Sorry, he ain't going to Boston. He will not be going to Boston if he's got a chance coming to St. Louis. He'll come to St. Louis first.
Okay. Well,
he's being a homer too. He's always a Boston homer. Why you always get on my butt about that?
Because I mean, if we're being honest, I think if you're going to Boston and playing or going to St. Louis and playing, where are you going to pick? Let's be real, man.
I'm gonna go to St. Louis, which has a bigger ballpark, and if I make mistakes, it's a more forgiving ballpark. He's a pitcher, so I let Ohtani go to Boston. You'd probably like that, Tony. All right, here is what Steven Batsa has on a simple parlay: Lakers money line, Suns money line. Mike, anytime you bet the Lakers anymore, they're terrible right now, so I don't know what to think.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely a lot better at home than on the road. They're on a road trip right now. They're 1-1 on this 3-game road trip. It is Detroit, though, man. So if you're taking them money line tonight, you're safe. You're not taking them on the spread. You're just taking them to win this game. Lakers will win this game against Detroit. Suns money line, I like that one as well. Playing Toronto, inconsistent team. I think we can back Phoenix, a team that's getting hot right now too. Let's not forget. We know how hot the sun is, right? The Phoenix Suns, they got multiple of them, right? They don't just have one big hot sun. They got a bunch of them, and they're hotter than crap right now, man.
Quick comment back to college basketball. My first bet of the day just hit. I had Stonehill plus 16.5 against UMass Lowell because I saw it on the positive EV page, and they just won outright. So you could have gotten Stonehill plus 1,300 at DraftKings, and UMass Lowell was as high as minus 2,800. So that's just how crazy these lower tier college basketball conferences are, is that a team that's almost a minus 3,000 favorite can lose just in a random game. And I thought the plus 16.5 was generous. It moved to plus 15.5, but that was an easy cover. So if you see some of these lower tier games and you're an OddsJam user on the page, don't be afraid if it's not a Duke or a North Carolina. Go and jump in, and you'll be surprised when you see a Stonehill plus 16.5 cash.
That's great, man. Way to go, Tone. Tony's on the ball today, man. He is on the ball. I've got nothing in the optimizer right now. There's a few plays on the positive EV page. Mike, you want to take a look and share and talk about them?
Yeah, I'll see what's out here right now.
We got my boy Wagner.
Steven should be good on that parlay, though, boys. I really do think he's going to cash that out. Certainly think he will. All right, we'll load up here and see what's out here. Devontae Davis over 12.5 points. This is a college basketball game player prop. You're getting plus 165 on that. This is actually outstanding value at plus. Oh, it's gone. You see how quick that moves. It was plus 125. Now it's plus 102 on Bet Rivers. That would have been outstanding value considering it's pretty well evenly priced on a lot of books. But even at plus 102, it's not too bad.
It's still at plus money when every other book isn't.
Exactly. So still good value on that. I would still jump on that for sure. Now here's the prop.
Go ahead.
Well, you're taking him on an over PRA, but then you're going to turn around and take him under on his points. That one I would stay away from if I were going to take him over on his PRA. I just don't like having two bets like that. I want him to go over on his PRA. Certainly more points helps the PRA big time. You get 2 points every time you score a basket. You only get one for one rebound, so if I'm having him under 22.5 points, I'm really needing him to have a lot of rebounds and assists. And with Wagner, a lot of that's going to come on the board. So I would stay away from the under 22.5 points if I was taking the over PRA.
Now, hey, Mike, is Jokic injured for tonight's game? I mean, do you know what his status is right now? Because he didn't play the other night. He's questionable with lower back pain, and Jamal Murray is questionable with a hamstring strain.
No update.
I think he's playing. They're 9-point favorites. I don't see him on the report.
Yeah, I would have to say too, based upon that line, you'd have to assume he's definitely playing. And we know they were without him, Gordon, and Murray the other night, yet they still beat the Clippers, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I took that too, plus 195.
Nice. So we got Siakam over 22.5 points at plus 115. Look, Phoenix doesn't have a lot down low to contain. Siakam should have a pretty good game, even though we like the Suns. I do think Siakam will have a pretty good game down low. So I will jump on that on ESPN Bet. Siakam over 22.5 points. You got Ingram over 4.5 rebounds. I will still roll with it, even though it is against Philadelphia. We're getting minus 109. Everywhere else, juicing the heck out of that. So that's one we'll take and go lock in.
I got to throw one bet out here. I have to tell you guys this right now. It's not on the positive EV page right now, but I'm throwing it at you anyway. Jokic's PRA tonight is 49.5, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what he started the season out with. I'm telling you right now, take the over. Go do it. Go bet it. You'll thank me tomorrow.
Okay. All right. We'll agree with that.
What do you think, Tone? Are you a big Jokic guy? PRA?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's great. Whenever you see an edge on an over for him, take it.
Yeah, that's pretty well the route to go.
Yeah, you can get him at minus 106 right now on FanDuel for that over.
Yeah, all kinds of plays showing up out here right now. I mean, I locked in a few here. I'm gonna Suggs under 4.5 rebounds. That one's pretty good.
Your boy Tristan's got a question for you, Mike.
What is up, bro? What's the question?
You like Siakam's 6 assists?
Who? You know, I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. I do like him over on points, probably a little more, but I think I think that's okay because again, Phoenix just doesn't have a lot to deal with him. I think he'll come through in one way or another. So if he doesn't go over his points and assists, he's going to go over one of them, I think, tonight.
Okay. All right. Let's do who's balling or who's pucking. It doesn't matter whichever one you want. I'm going with who's balling tonight, and I'm going to take my boy Jokic over PRA. I love it. I think that is the play of the day at minus 106 on FanDuel. So I'm going to lock it in, probably put 50 on it.
Okay.
Tony, are you pucking or you balling?
I'm balling with Kyle Filipowski and Duke tonight. I think they get a big win in the ACC SEC Challenge, and his points right now I think is at 17.5. I think he'll be right around there. I think you're pretty safe to get an over. He could get 20 points. He's a first-team All-American preseason for Duke there. So I think Kyle Filipowski is going to be balling for Duke tonight in a big win for the Blue Devils.
Cool. I like it. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, Bob, I'm gonna go to the ice here because we don't have any hockey, and believe it or not, Bob, I'm going to look at the Detroit Red Wings tonight to be pucking.
You think Patrick Kane's going to be pucking against his team that he was on last year? By the way,
I do 3-game winning streak. For Detroit.
Well, I got to be honest with you here. All right. Yeah, I know Jordan Thackeray was all pumped up about Kane coming to Detroit. After watching him play for the Rangers last year, I mean, he's not the player he once was.
No, okay? But he doesn't have to be.
He needs to be the guy that can skate around.
They have a lot of other talent. He doesn't need to be he can still skate around.
They had a lot of talent in New York last year. Okay.
They did, but
and then they had, and Tarasenko was a better player for the Rangers than what Patrick Kane was. So I'm not so sure, just an opinion I'm throwing out there, I'm not so sure Kane's not on his last.
Well, I think that'll reverse this year. I think Kane will be better for Detroit than what Vladdy is for Ottawa, because Vladdy's been awful for Ottawa.
Well, yeah, and by the way, speaking of Ottawa and speaking of Florida, I guess Grandma Kachuk was in the stands in the Florida-Ottawa game, and she was not happy with her grandsons because it kind of got nasty.
It got bad.
Yeah, it got bad. So,
it did get bad.
Yeah. Even Grandma Kachuk stuff, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. If you're a Kachuk, like I said, there's one thing you can do. You can puck. We know that.
Right.
If you're a Kachuk. But also, you're probably not one to mess with.
Speaking of which, does Keith go into the Hockey Hall of Fame? I mean, he really should.
He should. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you hear guys like Jeremy Roenick, who was teammates with him, rave about what a great player. I mean, come on, let's be honest, man. Keith Kachuk deserves to go in. I do believe that.
According to all everything everybody says about him, he would throw $100 bills to the guys who were the clubhouse attendants and what have you. You know.
Yeah, very cool, very nice guy, very, very good, genuine person. But not only that, heck of a player.
Now, Tony, good luck with your 43 college basketball bets tonight.
You've got our hero picks lined up.
Oh, you know what? Yes. I'm sorry.
Last golf tournament of 2023 before we head out.
Yeah, I failed to do that. Thank you for reminding me. I'm such
But
a
yes, thank you for the good luck. We've been on a roll with college basketball lately. Let me pull it up right here. We are so far, the season's about a month in. We're 262, 239, and 5, up $2,029.91.
There you go.
Ooh.
There you go. Variance. I mean, like I said,
variance about 30 games over 500. These are all money line and spread picks straight up. I bet a unit I wager 1 unit if it's a plus money bet, and I wager to win 1 unit if it's a favorite bet.
40 bets in college basketball is not, I mean, when you really think, I mean, God, there's probably like 100 games tonight or something.
75, man. Yeah.
Whew.
And it's 43 total. I've got a couple NBA in there and a couple NHL. So
sure,
I've got about 35 of the 75 games, either a spread or money line pick in almost half of them.
Man, that is putting in some work, and that is how you can make some money right there, folks. Getting your variance out.
That's cray. All right, here we go. The Hero Golf. What do they call it, Tony?
Hero World Challenge, I think. It's in the Bahamas. It's in the Bahamas, Tigers tournament.
All right. Victor Hovland, who is won this thing, twice now, I think?
Yeah, he's going for a 3-peat. So he's the favorite, and he's the best golfer in the world right now, in my opinion.
Homa, and then little Keegan Bradley at plus 3,000. And then we've got top 5, Morikawa and Homa, and top 10, Bradley and Rose. Mike, there's only 20 guys in this tournament, so it's a small field. I was surprised at John Rahm's out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with him. Reports are that he's been offered $600 million to join Live.
Oh,
I know
gosh, are you
taking some time off to spend with his family? But yeah, he's gotten the fattest deal offer besides Tiger that I've heard of so far. So. I mean, if I were John Rahm, I don't know more than $500 million.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. All right, folks, I got to end the show on that. Holy cow! You guys have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thursday night football tomorrow.
That's right, and a good game.
And a good game, yeah. Should be a pretty good game. Seattle's starting to fall off a little bit, but still a decent team. It should be interesting.
Go check out the Anytime Touchdown Score video.
Got to be better than that Monday night game.
No kidding. But Tony had the Bears in the under in that. Bears money line and the under.
Man,
he's on fire, dude.
Killed it.
It's been a good month. See you, folks.